Hello folks, and welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today, another day. That's the great thing. It doesn't stop. We have one day after another. That's bullish, isn't it? We don't start with any sarcasm or jokes today. Enough entertainment for the last days. Actually, nothing big have changed. I mean, we know that the government is trying, just to, I wouldn't say kill, because that's wrong. They are not going to kill crypto. But they just want to push it down, to let it less dangerous for them, just to say it in that way. We know everything what's happening at the moment. We know that the banking system is looking weak, but that's not new. That's really not new. That's not since a year or since 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. It's, bankers, we don't need to talk about that. I think many of you know how bankers work, and so it is what it is. And of course, crypto, in case of a mass adoption with an unregulated market, that's not necessarily what the government wants to see. Not in the US, not in EU, not in China. It doesn't matter where. Nobody wants that. At least no government. And so it makes sense, the whole, global regulatory body and so on and so forth. That was actually something that the Hong Kong regulation said. It wasn't my wording, it was their wording, okay? They said that, global regulatory body. So, just to make it clear. However, what we see right now is that the whole system is struggling. The whole system is walking on very thin ice. And some people now, of course, as usual, the community is a little bit splitted. Some of them are saying, yeah, well, that's obviously that the Fed needs to pivot now. Okay. I have said everything about that yesterday. It doesn't make sense to do it. They can do it, of course, but it's just, to make maybe the last gift to their wealthy friends, but that's it. The mass will see that inflation goes up. They will see, hey, I have less money in my pocket. Hey, fuck off, I'm not going to elect you next election. That's what always happens. Always. And of course that's not something that they want at the same time. And as mentioned yesterday, in case they would choose the option 1, so just to make a pivot scenario, to cut interest rates and so on and so forth, it's absolutely clear what would happen next. Banks, and maybe you remember that was in 2022, that was relatively in the beginning of when Powell and the Fed started with its very aggressive policy to fight the inflation. The first banks started to yell and to demand some liquidity. They said, please give us liquidity, because many of them just invested their money because of the low interest rates we had in the past in other assets where the money were locked for years. So just to flip, it's not possible. That's not different to the US, like, for example, Europe. It happened in Europe as well. I know that because my clients were affected by the interest rates decisions of the central banks as well. They love to give you money and to get some interest for that. But if they have a low liquidity because they couldn't make any money giving you a credit, it's obvious that they just, shifted their money to risk less income. That's what they did. So if you flip, it was very short-term thinking, but that's part of the game, and that's also part of their business. That's not only in the banking sector the case. It's if you take a look to the CEOs or heads of many other companies, you will see they are just making plans for the next 2, 3, 4 years as maximum. Because they know, hey, after me, if they are going to vote for another head or CEO, who cares what will happen with the company? As soon as I get my money at the end of my career here, I don't care anymore. That's, unfortunately, it seems a principle in the management floors of many companies. And, of course, not different in the banking sector. So, it was obvious that this phase of our system, what I called turbo capitalism, was very limited. And we are reaching exactly that levels where we know we are done here. We are done. And that's why central bankers doesn't have those options anymore. If, in case they were so smart, they had reacted just years ago, 5, 10 years ago. But they didn't. They didn't. And even the government was celebrating it. Hey, more free money. Yeah, let us invest whatever you want. Oh, let us build an airport there. Like in Spain. They invested millions and over millions in Spain in an airport that's today their name is a ghost airport because it's not operating. But hey, the money was for free. Why not? Let us construct houses. They are still there. Nobody is living there. But the money was cheap. And that's what I say, and that's what I'm meaning every time when I say even all the shadow banks, private equity, hedge funds, they bought companies where they knew, hey, we are going to give them 10 million US dollars, but the opportunity to get this money back is so tiny, but who cares? Maybe it works. That's like go to casino with all your money and say, hey, maybe I go there and I come back as a rich motherfucker or as, houseless idiot. And yeah, that's what happened. Many of them will be, well, unfortunately not, but houseless idiots. Because unfortunately, when they do wrong work, they are not going to pay the consequences. That's also part of the game, unfortunately, but that's, it seems, a rule of life. Anyway, who is going to pay the bill at the end of this drama? Well, not the CEO. Usually it's the staff, because they are going to be workless. And good luck. That's mainly the consequence. So to yell now pivot and pivot and pivot, it's, in my opinion, ignoring everything else. Oh, we need to save the banking sector. No, you need to save those banks who are maybe a threat for your economy. Hey, 2008. As mentioned, I gave you some examples. They didn't save every bank. And that's something that could continue, just in different dimensions. And I think that's going to happen. They will not bail out. They will seize them. They will just say, well, no problem. It's now part of the government. We will send some guys there and they will take over. And that's it. Without any contract that tells you, hey, after we received all the money we gave you to bail you out, you will receive your company back or something. I don't think that's going to happen. And I think that's also part of an agenda. Anyway, that's the big problem. So pivot, not possible. Because inflation up. In a way, they don't know how to control it. Because everything is fine as long also energy prices maintains low. But, as we know, that could flip very quick. And that can happen again. And then it's over. Absolutely over. Then you don't need to talk or to spend any brainstorming sessions how to fix the banking problem. It's not only banking as mentioned. It's, it's everything. Shadow banks, okay, private equity, hedge funds, come on, they are not banks. Real estate, construction companies, and whatever, they are not banks. They just need the banks, but they are not banks. However, they would collapse as well, because it's a huge bubble that we constructed with central bank cheap money. And that's a fact. So, to say we will save the financial sector and kill the whole economy doesn't work. But to say we will try to fight inflation and we know it will have consequences, that's, in my opinion, the only option they have. Mrs. Yellen, I think it was Mrs. Yellen, I need to check, but I think it was Mrs. Yellen, said something. And we can talk about, we can say, that's not correct, or maybe, we know what she is frequently saying, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. But Yellen said, high inflation is the number one economic problem, Biden's top priority. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't care about Biden, and of course I wouldn't care about Mrs. Yellen. But in that case, I have to say, yes, of course. Because that's the only way. To say the ship is sinking and to try to maintain it, on the surface, if you're not going to repair it, it's just a matter of time that it will ship later on. Credit Suisse. It's going to happen exactly the same. The Swiss government can bail them out. Saudis first said, nope, you are not getting any money from us. It's not really clear at the moment. I think they said, yeah, we will pump a little bit, some more billions there just in case, because of course, otherwise they had the big loss. That's what I said once, when you have a credit of 100,000 K, be absolutely sure that the bank will send you the Marine Corps to get their money back. But if you have debts of 100 million or 1 billion, be sure the bank will not send anyone, and just ask you very, very kindly if you could pay at least one interest rate. Interest rate. Well, if you could pay, of course, your monthly interest. That's it. So Credit Suisse is the ship. They are not going to fix the problems there, because they can't fix the problems there. The only thing what they are doing is delaying something that will happen. It's not the first bank. It's not the unique bank that looks weak. Many banks missed to sell the top. And they have still big portfolios. While the whole situation is not looking better. So when to unload? To crash the markets? That's also not bullish for them. Because of course it would just increase their pressure. So as you see, stop talking about pivot. In case they do it, it's over. anyway. It's absolutely over. So the only thing they can really do, and in that case I need to agree with, oh, that's a very bad day because I'm saying that, but is what Mrs. Yellen said. That's highest priority. Only then, if we see that we are controlling inflation and pushing inflation down, hitting 2%, then yes, then let us send the helicopters, let us send jumbos, let us send whatever you want with fresh money. It's not going to fix anything. And we will collapse afterwards anyway, because that's the big problem we have. You know? Just to say, I give you fresh money to continue your stupid business, that's not working. Because even if you would fix your problems, it will take years, not weeks or months. It's not going to work. And governments know that. Governments are not going to bail them out. They are just delaying things. But that's it. That's absolutely it. Believe me or not, I really don't care. I'm just telling you what I see as someone that's working and spending every day working and talking with bankers. So, and then let us talk a little bit about Tether. Because Paulo, I hate this guy. I hate everything related to Tether. Don't tell me Tether is the spirit of crypto, because that hurts. That really hurts. That's like a slap in my face. Tether is so, wow. Bitfinex, Tether, oh my god. If that would be the only crypto asset, trust me, I would close everything related to crypto immediately. However, he was tweeting 76 billions. Yeah, baby. Now imagine Inspo just making such a heavy dance, you know? So, yeah, baby. 76 billions. We are so good. Tether is, wow, our balls are growing every day. They are so cool. This Joker face. He's the Joker face. And it seems he's proud of it. 76 billions. Let us make a summary. Paxos, ultra regulated, extremely transparent, audited. Just imagine, audited, voluntary. They said, hey, we want to be extremely transparent, because for us to have trust to our clients is highest priority. I know some people say, yeah, I'm not sure, the same audit agency, whatever. Okay, that's fine. I guess we will always find something. But compared to all other stablecoins, is Paxos by far, in my opinion, the best, really the best, secure, regulated in the US, audited, and so on and so forth. So, well done. I really like Paxos because they did it very good. But we know BUSD and all the problems that happens with Paxos, well, they kick their balls. It was a little shock for me, not about the BUSD from Binance. I never cared about the BUSD from Binance, but the BUSD based on the Ethereum chain, that's the original Paxos BUSD, not the BSC trash. Okay? If you have BNB and so on, I'm fine with you. It's right now my analysis, so for me it's just trash. Not bad from technology, maybe, at least, you know, for DeFi. But I know the DeFi, that's another topic. We could talk about that. Some of you know that I didn't, you know, a lot of scammers and fraud happening there. But okay, let us continue. BUSD, crap. Okay, even it was minted by a ultra regulated company. Bad, very bad. Okay, now people started to shift to USDC. Then Silicon Valley Bank. Circle did everything fine. I mean, even that's the second most regulated stablecoin. I mean, through USD, I have seen they have attestations and automated attestation, whatever. But Circle and Paxos, two companies where I would say they did a nice work in the past. Maybe some of them not in a voluntary way. Maybe Circle, I remember they had also some meetings with regulators in the past. But they did it. They just did it. And that's the most important thing, in my opinion. They had their part of their reserves on a very big bank. So they did everything well. What a coincidence that exactly this bank is collapsing or just collapsed. Bad news for Circle, bad news for USDC, and now people are shifting to Tether. Tether, the company that is always when something is happening, it doesn't matter what bank that is, the first tweet what they are sharing is, we don't have any exposure on that bank. One comment, and the last time related to Silicon Valley, was so funny because one guy said, okay, guys, do you have any exposure in any bank? And yeah, that's right. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's the Deltec? Deltec? Come on, Deltec? Check Deltec. I did my research. I tweeted about Deltec. Deltec is a piece of crap. Okay, that's just... I could say, if that were my opinion, that's a money laundering shit. But it's not, of course not, because, it's a public analysis, so I'm not going to say anything wrong related to that. Also not related to Tether. But the thing is, where do you have your reserves? You are a company with how many people working there? Where's your headquarters? How big is it? Do you have, I don't know, do you have in the ground a huge safe where you have your gold there, your cash, or but nobody is asking. Everything is fine. Hey, they received just 2 billions. That's it. 2 billions more to Tether. And I tell you, if the whole thing is a plan, then it's a very good plan. Canalize the whole money to one single asset, stablecoin, with 76 billions. Billions! We are not talking about millions. No, it's 76,000 millions US dollars. And then, like a sniper, and you have killed almost the whole market. It's so insane what is happening, and no one is talking about. No one. Keep using Paxos, keep using USDC, and prevent Tether. That would be, in my opinion, the consequence. So yeah, it's maybe not that cool. Okay, Paxos is a problem because no one has peers, but hey, exchange, to be honest, if you are not providing a Paxos peer, fuck off. Fuck off. You are the client. You are the customer. I mean, why are you not demanding something? Why are you not just saying, hey, okay, forget BUSD. Paxos, do you have Paxos USD, for example? Well, Binance, then I would like to have Paxos USD pairs. Go there. It's your money. They want your money. You have a voice. No, nobody is talking about. So let us take the most comfortable way and let us just shift everything to Tether. And I just say, we can pray from now on every single day, that tomorrow any government, because we know even the China government don't like Tether, absolutely not. The US government shouldn't like Tether, but we will see. But, they are accumulating evidences in case they start and they prove that Tether is fraud, scam, or was involved in criminal activity. They cannot shut it down very quick, and good luck. I hope it pushes a little bit, it triggers a little bit something like, what he's saying is maybe not that wrong. Because what they are doing, if that's the plan, is extremely smart. Canalizing the whole money related to stablecoins more and more to Tether. More and more to Tether. We don't need to kill 3, 4, 5 different stablecoins. It's not necessary. I mean, it's not easy to kill a stablecoin that is regulated in the US. I mean, what's going to be your approach? To say, it's following our rules, but it's bad. It's bad. We will kill you. That's not going to work. So it's so easy just to bring some food, to just to say, hey, that's bad, that's stupid, and we will cut you off. You will, okay, and people like ants just shifting more and more to a stablecoin where you say, oh my god. And now people could say, oh, Inspo, come on, Tether food. We know that. Yeah, we know that. Yes. And to be honest, it's for me a big shock that Tether still is there and operating like nothing happened in the past. But everything has an end. Everything. And, I would be extremely careful. So let us talk about the market now. So then let us talk about weights ratio and what's happening there. Well, to be honest, we are on track. As I said just before, usually it starts to decline. And when it starts to decline, it's where the sell pressure should start to rise. That's something we need to see because, of course, they are still protecting. We will check later on, but you can see here that since beginning of March, the weights ratio 1 day time frame is making lower highs and also indicating here lower lows. So it's absolutely clear that the trend is downward. Also indicating that less Bitcoins, I mean, you know what weights ratio is, but less Bitcoins by weights are arriving. Not saying nothing more is arriving, but less. Okay, I'm using a very, very sensitive wording to make it clear. If we go forward and we check what's happening related to the 1 hour time frame, we see at the moment it's the opposite. We are doing here higher lows, while we had here some lower highs and now making higher highs. So also here indicating that the sell pressure should start, but not big at all at the moment, because everything above of 90 in the weights ratio 1 hour time frame, or in that case here, for example, that's my weights ratio 30 hours moving average. when it starts to touch 90, it's where the situation is becoming critical. But it's not. But once again, bounced at 80, a little bit lower, and now pushing up. Usually, it should push up to 86, means nice distribution, then go once again down to 80, then more up, and that's what they are doing over and over again. We will see if that's going to happen this time as well, or this time just pushing up more and more. That's something we need to see. Stablecoin reserves, nothing big happening here. Still wondering why we have a lack of data at CryptoQuant, but that's not in my hands. If we take a look here, for example, we can see we had just today, no, that wasn't today. Today almost more green than red in Bitcoin net flows, indicating we are receiving more Bitcoins. And that's something I can confirm with my other apps. We will talk about that later on. Let us go forward. So if we take a look here, for example, once again, I don't know why this lag in the database of CryptoQuant related to stablecoins, but yeah, it's consistent. That's not cool, but not in our hands. However, we received here, that was yesterday, actually here 2000 Bitcoins another, so almost 6000 Bitcoins here. And wow, what's happening here? That's old data here. That's from this morning. Something is wrong with CryptoQuant at the moment. We have a lack of data here, because we can see that, but okay, that's crap. That's really crap. Is that happening to everything? No, futures looks absolutely okay. But yeah, okay. Unfortunately, we can close that here because, you know, we just see, I mean, I can see the net flows with another app, but it's unfortunately only available for the premium version, not because I decided it, because the provider of this data just talked to me and said, please, we need to make some money. If you want to use that, please don't use it to tweet, or really for your free version, if possible, only for your premium one. And I said, yeah, of course, I can do that. So that's the only reason why I'm only providing this data to the premium. But I can say that a lot more Bitcoins arrive to centralized exchanges, and that the balance on centralized exchanges related to Bitcoin is lifting up more and more and more. So we will see the next chapter is exactly that app. So we can see here, let us check. Well, we can see that in the last 7 days, we had a net flow of 29,570. But in the current week, a net flow of 44,984. So if we check, today is Thursday. We still have some days in front of us, and we received a lot, really a lot of Bitcoins. We can see that also here, for example, that the red bars are lifting up, also here, for example. And the most interesting part is here, for example, where we can see that at the moment we can say that we are, yeah, we have almost 80,000 Bitcoins more on centralized exchanges than before of end of the year. For me, it's obvious what will happen. Just two cases. They really want to push up more with futures, and they are just preparing a big sell off. or 25, 26K, maybe 27 if they are going to create such a bull trap, is the top, and then only down. Because we have limited liquidity just to create some resistance. And 80K in Bitcoins, it's really a lot. I was checking a little bit the FBI seized Bitcoins, those 40,000, and they went to different wallets, but I couldn't really see because they started to split them and $100 as well, so really strange things. In my opinion, they didn't sell them yet. And yeah, it's, I don't know if, I don't think, I mean, I have checked and I have found out, for example, if we take here a look, that's, and I've tweeted about that today, I think, we can see those 40,000 Bitcoins here. And those 40,000 Bitcoins, they arrived today in the morning. And that's a Binance Cold Wallet. But exactly this wallet address was part of a tweet that CSAT did month ago. Maybe you remember those 127,000. And I don't remember what page that was, Cointelegraph, or I don't know. I don't remember anymore. But they said, hey, it seems Binance bought 127,000 Bitcoins. And immediately afterwards, he said, did a statement and said that's stupid and nonsense because this wallet is a deposit cold wallet by Binance. And he was laughing a little bit because he said, if you make such a statement, then you should research better. It's exactly the same wallet. So if he said that this is a deposit cold wallet, last time with those 127,000 Bitcoins, nothing happened. I mean, if we check here, they removed those 127,000 Bitcoins 10 days later. And we can see here what they did. They splitted it in another cold wallet. They sent it to a really cold wallet. That's a cold wallet by Binance. Okay, so I guess that they sent those 127,000 Bitcoins to a Binance Deposit Cold Wallet and then shifted to a Binance Cold Wallet. I don't know. I can imagine that Binance is also offering such kind of services for whales and institutionals. But now we receive those 40,000 Bitcoins. Where are these 40,000 Bitcoins coming from? Nobody knows. Now we see cold wallet, cold wallet, cold wallet, cold wallet, cold wallet. So a lot of Bitcoins coming from cold wallet to a deposit cold wallet. And that's really strange because usually they should come from outside to deposit cold wallet, but this looks a little bit as someone that had a cold wallet on Binance is now sending all these Bitcoins to a deposit cold wallet. Why? Well, it's possible that someone is preparing something to sell all these 40,000, or Binance is just making anything, rebalancing or something for an attestation or whatever. No one knows that, but 40K, it's almost 1 billion, you know? So that's really strange. But yeah, so we need to see those 40,000s are not part of here, of this chart here. So I really don't know where these 40K are coming from. If that's maybe an institutional or someone who is saying it's time to sell. We will see. Let us go forward. So if we take a look to the funding rate, for example, you remember we went up, then, well, down, more up, down again, and now also lifting up, just indicating they are demanding more longs, more longs. If we take a look, for example, to the open interest, went up like hell, declined, it's recovering. And once again, that's the most important part, in my opinion, is what's happening to the leverage ratio, because yeah, it's recovering, but it flipped. So open interest lifted up, and instead the funding rate declined a lot. It's very interesting. That's also very interesting what's happening to CryptoQuant, because the stablecoins didn't work, the net flow with spot, but with derivatives works fine. That's really strange. Okay, that's what it is. We need to live with that. So, but if we take a look, we can see that 112 millions in, 178 millions out. Nothing big happened here, more outflows than inflows related to stablecoins. If we take a look here, yeah, even here, 3,500 bitcoins out, 1,600 bitcoins in related to derivative exchanges. Now we had big outflows, but also some inflows. Let me see what was today. However, even here we have a lack of data. So I don't know. It looks, because here we have data until 12 a.m. It's almost 7 hours ago, but at least more data than related to spot. I don't get that. I really don't get that. That's really strange. Well, if we go forward, we can see leverage ratio down, open interest up, funding rate up. Yesterday we liquidated 1,540 bitcoins in longs and 1,280 bitcoins in shorts. And that's almost it. If we go to the blockchain whispers, we will check there. Oh, why are you changing my settings over and over again? So if we check here, for example, we can see almost nothing have changed. We have 50% here and 50% here, 50-50, 54 to 46 on Ethereum. And it seems some shorts coming in, but also long. So yeah, it seems traders are very divided. If we take a look to the Kingfisher maps, and I would like to see, first of all, yeah. So, wow. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. 600 millions? 600 millions? We never had 600 millions, as I know. So, what the hell? And, of course, everything on the long side. Absolutely. I mean, if I would take a look here, I would say, well, it's a suicide operation. They are going to kill all these longs, or it's obviously extremely bullish and to the moon from here. Because 600 millions, I mean, even at 22.5, if we take a look here, 140 millions, 160 millions, 170 millions. Jesus. 377 millions. That wasn't yesterday. What happened? 522 millions. And the biggest on the short part, even here, it's big. I mean, 240 millions, 360 millions, another 240 millions. That's crazy. That's... wow. Oh, 30 millions also here. Wow. I don't know what they are doing, but never have seen that much. High leverage means down to 24.1 to liquidate them. And well, then we have some shorts until 25.2. So maybe go up and then, but the risk is if we go up, they could close their position. So for any exchange, it would make more sense to have a little crash to 24, for example, and then go up once again. But we will see. That's really huge. Really huge. Let us go forward. So, okay. So 0.15, 0.12. So 32 versus 23,750. And in such case, as we are much closer to 23,750, I would expect that should be more the magnet than the call at 32K, because from here to 32K is a way. So, you know, that's really, really interesting. However, the scale is not big, but also taking into account that we still have a GAX of 215,000, it makes more sense to go down to 23,750. It's a put gamma wall. It usually means it should attract to let the price go down. Of course, be careful because we have a lot of high leverage positions, it seems. Even the leverage ratio didn't push up as I thought. And so I would be extremely careful here because that could let the price go down in an upper pace to liquidate all these shorts. And as we have seen with the Kingfisher, that's really wow. Wow, that's really big. So 23,750, break this one, and I don't know. We need to see. I mean, gamma walls are dynamic, so they can change sometimes, and we need to check them over and over again. Bull call spread, still very high. Short risk reversal, those futures are also high. Bull diagonal call calendar. That's what we are going now to check. Yeah. Yeah. We are going to check those four. So let us talk about the bull call spread. Yesterday it was extremely big bull call spread. So it's it's everything from yesterday, it seems. Let me check. Yeah, it's everything from yesterday. We received more, but not big anymore. Bull call spread. Oh, we have some more positions. Oh, here. That's from today. Oh my god. What is happening? They are so extremely bullish. I mean, how is that possible? That's extremely bullish. They are saying, hey, we will see until mid of the year something like a price above of 45K. But that also means they are expecting something. I hope they are not expecting a pivot scenario, because otherwise they will close their positions, in my opinion, very quick again. I really hope they are not expecting any pivot scenario, because I don't think that's going to happen. Short risk reversal. Let us take a look what we received today. Short risk reversal. So, oh, okay, today, everything today. Something big. We have here something big. They are expecting here price below 24K until end of the month. and that's almost it. Below 23.5, below 23.5. Yeah, so nothing big, just indicating, hey, we will see a price below 23.5, 24, and that's almost it. That's what they are saying. So nothing big here as well. Bull diagonal, the bull diagonal spread with calls. We have here how many positions? 12. Do we have something big? Yeah, this here is from today as well. And the bull diagonal is expecting to see a price until end of March hitting 27k, 27k. So, you know, they sold 300. So yeah, not, I mean, they sold calls 27k for 330k and bought calls 25k for 200. So, you know, and they didn't spend 1 cent on these trades strategies. Call calendar. Let us take a look to the call calendar. Sometimes also very interesting what they are doing there. We have here call calendar. They sold calls 30k for end of March, and they bought, once again, bullish. I really hope they are not expecting to see a pivot scenario where the whole money is going to flow in crypto and we will moon afterwards, because 40k and taking into account in what situation we are is moon. Absolutely moon. Everything above the price, I mean, even the current price is moon. But to talk about 30, 40k, that's insane. That's really insane. But well, yeah, as mentioned once again, I'm so sorry if it sounds so bearish all the time, but it is what it is. I mean, a ship goes up before it disappears from the surface. You know, it's, yeah, crazy, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's really crazy because they are you know, they spent 110k for this trade. I mean, they are just postponing. Of course, maybe it's not a bad that they will see a price above of 30k. Maybe, you know, they can make money also if the price goes more hitting 27k than close with money. It would be possible. For example, here, if we take a look, they sold, for example, 27k calls March 24th expiry, and they bought, for example, wow, I mean, what if I need to interpret that, that's telling me that they don't see a price of 30k or close to 30k this month, and not even, yeah, this month, but for end of April. So it seems they're expecting something. They're expecting something. It's not the first one. You remember June extremely bullish, May also bullish, and April. So they are expecting something like, yeah, we can go down from here, but afterwards we will go up really hard hitting 40k. That's what they are trading. And that's bullish. I don't like it because it doesn't match to the situation of the market, but it's bullish. We need to be fair and really unbiased. That's bullish. If they are right, they know something we don't. So let us go forward. So let us see what they are doing and who is driving the market right now. We need to zoom out a little bit to check that, and I would like to use that was, let us take, for example, yesterday. Let us see, that's today. Let us take a low. Low would be here. That was the low. So since then, that's Binance. Binance, wow, that's really tiny here. 14 millions positive. aggregated with Tether. 11 millions, okay. Then BUSD. Minus 9 millions. USD. Plus 10 millions. Also interesting. And then Bitcoin collateral futures minus 11 million. That's peanuts. That's really ridiculous low. And 20. Okay. So I mean that's since yesterday afternoon. So 24 hours ago. A little bit more, 26, 27 hours ago. And if we check that, we have here 14 million. They spent 14 millions in purchases, more than they sold. Cumulative volume delta. The aggregated looks different. So that's only Binance, that's the aggregated one, 11 millions. So it seems that other exchanges were selling instead of buying more. BUSD selling more than buying. USD buying more than selling. And that's crazy. Bitcoin collateral, I mean, it's extremely tiny, but Bitcoin collateral shorting more than longing, and stablecoin collateral longing more than shorting. Very interesting. Nice combination, but that happened within 24 hours. That's really, you know, we are making $3,000, $4,000 just in few days, but in 24 hours, nothing. How is that possible? Just because really just 2-3 actors are driving the market. Otherwise, I don't get that. So let us see what. Well, we know BTC BUSD on Binance is declining. So if you take a look here, 3,600. So it's almost 2,800 Bitcoin since here. They distributed since then more than they purchased because that's the CBD. If we take a look here, for example, we also see Bitfinex from here. They pushed up and started to sell. On Bybit as well, but not declining a lot. Coinbase, exactly the same. Now just pushing up while we are going down a little bit, but that's really peanuts. It feels like someone is, I don't know, disconnecting the algos or something. I don't know. Bitstamp lifting up a little bit, so also very interesting. But they distributed. Wow, they are very good. And Kraken also distributed a little bit, now doing what Coinbase is doing, and I think Gemini doing exactly the same. Let me see. Now pushing up. Well, they had here, it's not big. I mean, 50 Bitcoins in CBD. That's really nothing. And one thing that was very interesting is what my friend material scientist just shared on his Telegram. He has a Telegram channel, and I really can tell everyone just to join it, because he is always sharing his fire chart. That's how they called it. And that's for free. So every 2 hours he is automatically sharing it. And let me check what's his account name. Open, what is Can I see that? It seems not. I don't see that. No, but if you are looking for material indicators, you will find him. And I really can recommend everyone just to because sometimes it's I'm not there in his Telegram actively chatting, but I'm much more interested in his fire chart, because you can see here, for example, I show you that. You can see what these guys are doing, all orders. If we take a look, for example, to these guys here, they went from here up and now declined almost back to zero. If we take a look, for example, to the purple one, we can see they started with delay, but they pushed up here and it's now declining. If we take a look, for example, to the next one, that's the red one, you can see also these started with delay and also went to zero. And then we start to see some retailer stuff, they started to push up and are distributing. And these are obviously the retailers, and they were selling here all the time and now pushing up. And it's very interesting because if we check, they started to push up here. So when the price started to decline, then the whole a bunch of volume started, appeared. And obviously they want to maintain a price there while retail is buying, because they can sell an upper price. And I guess when they are done, it's over. We will go down. But it's very, very interesting. So I really can recommend everyone just to join his Telegram if you are using Telegram. I really like the fire chart. Material Scientist, if you want to give me a subscription, I'm here. No, I'm kidding. In case I would pay for it. But I need to check his stuff, because I think he has some more things there that could be very interesting for us and also for Phoenicia. So let us take a look and go forward from here. We will check now what's happening to stablecoins. Let us see. For example, if we check for today, 16th, we started the day with a big outflow of almost 920 millions. That was, I guess it's my time zone, at 4 a.m. this morning. And then at 9:20 we received 1.5 billions, a lot. And then at midday, so 12 o'clock, for example, if we take a look, 50 million here, then another 140 million here, so almost 200 millions, and then another 1.25 billions outflows. We are talking about outflows, so almost 1.5 billion, and that matches to what we have received just before. And we received a little bit more just afterwards, but now also indicating here another 500 millions withdrawing from centralized exchanges. We see here that's USDT, a lot of yellow, a lot of blue, but here that's the biggest yellow. That was today, 70 millions inflow while 20 millions outflow, but close afterwards 45 millions outflows, and just before another 16 millions outflow. So it looks everything a little bit that outflows at the moment bigger than inflows. On USDC, for example, we received at midday 50 millions outflows. Then afterwards we received 66 millions inflows We had here also a bunch of outflows, one big inflow here, 12 millions inflow, 5 millions outflow. So then here 54 millions inflow, and now here 56 millions outflow, while a lot more blue here, indicating they're cashing out. Also related to BUSD, for example, we had here the green, since the yellow, since then almost only blue, indicating more outflows, more outflows, more outflows. If we take a look now to what's happening here, for example, let us see, retailers, they are buying. Also here they started again, these guys are buying, so 10 to 100 Bitcoin wallets. These guys now declining. Market maker not really lifting up, and these guys declining, so means these guys also once again shifting, at least it seems. We will check right now if they are doing it, but it looks like that's the market maker. Receive more wallets. Oh, they also receive more wallets. So where are all these wallets coming from? If they are receiving, they are receiving. That's strange. 110, 111, 110. So, okay. I really don't know where all these wallets now coming from. Usually it shifts from the next entity to the other, but at the moment not indicating that. So we are receiving more wallets, but you can see that the balances are not rising, also indicating they are, it seems, declining their balances. That's would be the next step, just to check here. But I guess, once again, lack of data by CryptoQuant. I don't have any, I can't control that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's crap. That's really crap. So another 1,100 Bitcoins that was yesterday, closed before midnight. I guess they sent more Bitcoins. If we take a look here to the weights ratio, we can see that at least Gemini is pushing up, while, for example, Bitstamp declining. So it seems that whales on Gemini preparing something, funds declining more, as you can see, while the price is lifting up. And once again here also, they were using all the time futures also to push up, and now it seems it wants to flip more to spot, indicating spot volume is lifting up more than futures. I don't know what's happening to CryptoQuant. That's really strange. I didn't see that. And market activity declining a lot, even on futures, but really a lot. And that is also very, very, it's a mysterious, because we have 600 millions. I never have seen such a big volume, 600 millions in liquidation positions. But you see what's happening. The future activity declined a lot. That's really strange. That's really strange. And yeah, a lot of wash trading happening. Otherwise, that it's unrealistic. That couldn't happen. And market activity declining, volume up, doesn't make any sense. Really, absolutely any sense. However, we are done here. Let us go forward. So if we take a look here, for example, we see that on Coinbase, of course, we still have there some orders, but nothing new. And they are old orders here. They shifted a little bit more up, but the only new ones were here 25.3 or, for example, 26.5. Otherwise here 23.6, or here, for example, between 23 and 22.7. Some orders happening here, reinforcing here, it seems, at 16.6. We have a lack of volume here, for example, so looks very interesting. Bitstamp. What is happening here to Bitstamp? If we take a look, Bitstamp here still waiting between 28.3 and 30k, and at the same time also the same to the downside, but they removed almost at 22.5. So yeah, it seems they're, I don't know, very confident, I guess, that we are going up, or I don't know why they are taking out some liquidity from the downside. Oh, what is happening here? Look. That's it? So now reinforcing 26. We have here a new one at 25.5. Now even here 25. Interesting. Really interesting. They stopped just now. 28 minutes ago, it seems. Reinforcing 18.5. Once again, lack of volume like the others. Oh, I would be careful here. BTC BUSD. Oh, wow. Also here, for example, 27. Maybe 27 and then down. That would be also possible. So I had to message my buddy George. What's happening here in the market. That looks very interesting what they are doing. Also here that looks a little bit strange, but we have 26.3, 26.7, and 22.8. Nothing new on Bitfinex. OKEX spot, also nothing. Wall swap, we know. Kraken, on Kraken, also interesting what they are doing. So placing, for example, more to the upside, but look, they are taking out volume from the downside. It's completely open to 19.5. While protecting to the upside 27 and so on and so forth. BitMEX. On BitMEX, nothing happening. I like BitMEX. I should really open an account there. Even I'm not trading, but just to show, hey, I like what you are doing. Okay, nothing to see here. I'm not sure if that's spoofing or not. I guess it's algo. That's Bitget derivatives with BTC USD. Now BTC USDT, also nothing here. Binance now. BTC USDT protecting 23.5, but at the same time they want to short a lot and the area of 25k. It looks like they want to push more to the downside, because usually, you know, it's simple. When you are using trading light and you want a little bit to see, because we know that the biggest part of the volume is on futures. When you see, for example, you know, such a bunch means they just want to push up. Protect, let us go down, then here to let it go up, but not too much. It's very controlled. Here, less there, push up, now indicating we want to let the price go down once again. If they want to control the price, that's what they are doing here on both sides. And you see that the candles are extremely tiny. So it's very easy sometimes to see what they are doing. Depends what you are looking for, of course. But you need to understand that almost 60 to 70% of the whole volume of this market is pure futures. So of course, even you can't drive the market price only with futures. You need spot as well, but you can control the market if you're using some spot algos and future algos at the same time. BTC BUSD, nothing. Bitfinex derivatives, Bitfinex, not sure if that's spoofing or not. Otherwise 25.2 and 24.3. Kraken futures, also 26 almost, but nothing. OKEX futures, OKEX futures is at 25.8. They want to short here, but at the same time they are protecting here 24.3. Deribit, on Deribit protecting here at 26, and that's it. I mean, otherwise everything at 19k. Okay, that's it. So let us see. It's really hard. I mean, the market is at the moment not doing anything, and you know, when I make my personal conclusion, actually in the beginning when I started to provide my personal conclusion, was my personal conclusion as Inspo, the trader. I'm not trading, and that usually it wouldn't make any difference because I can, you know, imagine and you know, see everything from the view as a trader. That's not the problem. The problem is we don't have any solid thing. Well, it's not true. We have, but no data is indicating which direction we can do. Let us make a little summary, because then we can bring some structure to all the data we have seen today. We know that the weights ratio 30 days moving average is declining. That's nice, because that only means preparation is done. Now we need to go over and realize the operation afterwards. Hey, we accumulated a lot of bitcoins on centralized exchanges. Now it's the turn to sell them. Okay? Good. Weights ratio 30 hours moving average pushing up. Means sell pressure should start rising. Nothing big at the moment. Futures indicating they are longing more at the moment. That's what the aggregated funding rate was indicating. Open interest much more than leverage ratio. The Kingfisher on the other side showed us, hey, they are longing like no tomorrow, with a lot of liquidation positions. 600 millions. Never have seen since I'm analyzing. So it's, I don't know, high leverage positions on the long side, less on the short side. 30 millions in liquidation cluster, it's also huge. So usually we should go down. If we take a look to the gamma walls, if we go forward to the options, we know that, well, gamma is, it can give us a trend, but it's not something where I would say, you know, only if the scale is at 1 or at least 0.75, but not at 0.15. However, 23,750 was the put gamma wall, 32k the call gamma wall. It's too far away. So usually we should check the next bigger gamma wall close to our current price, and that would be the put gamma wall, indicating, hey, the bears want to push the price to 23,750. If we break this one, we go down. And it would break because we know we have a lot of high leverage positions. If we liquidate all of them, they will start to pace up the fall. You know, they are liquidating them, and so the Bitcoin price would fall even faster. Options, short term, bearish but not that bearish. Long term, extremely bullish. We don't know why, but we can say May, June, they are even expecting to see a price above of 30K and even hitting 40K. But in the short term, they are not expecting it. They are not expecting to see a price of 30K, for example, for this month. Instead, they are postponing their calls 30K to the month in April. Also something that can happen in April once again. So that's not uncommon. If we take a look to the CBDs, we don't see anything. It's really, really strange to see such a low CBD within 24 hours. But also here, it's not indicating any solid trend. We have stablecoin futures indicating they are longing more than shorting, but on the other side, Bitcoin collateral futures indicating they are shorting more than longing. And that's also very interesting. If we take a look to the material scientist chart, the fire chart that he is providing on his Telegram account, we know, okay, they distribute it very well. Retailers are buying right now. When they stop, they will let the price go down. And we have also checked sentiment, and we can see that entities with low wallets are buying at the moment. So retailers, everything less than 100 bitcoins. Be careful with these 100 bitcoins wallets, because those from FBI says bitcoins, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, they, for example, split it a lot in amounts less than 100 bitcoins and sent to different wallets. I don't know why they do that, but they did it. We know that we don't know how much money they already spent from those 1 billion recovery fund from Binance, but we know we have almost 80,000 bitcoins on centralized exchanges waiting, and I'm sure they are not there just to spend a nice time on a centralized exchange. We are receiving more bitcoins, much more than they are withdrawing. So also a fact that's not really bullish. So yeah, it's really hard, but taking into account all this information and that they finally removed all these orders here, and right now even concentrating more to the upside, indicating we don't want to let you go up. We are protecting that area now more than the downside. My expectation here, and that's what I would trade in such case, is we will go down to 24K. We will maintain maybe and break, go down, and then we will see once again something between 22 and 21.6. It depends of this, if these guys are going to use all the bitcoins they sent already to centralized exchanges. And be careful with volatility, and that maybe explains why we have such low leverage ratio compared to the open interest, because they know volatility will be big. We can go up and we can go straight down afterwards. So be extremely careful related to volatility. However, if we go here to 22K, that would be, for example, in the daily here, means we could have a little dead cat bounce over the weekend and then go down once again. And that means, for example, that would be close to our POC. That would be here almost at 80K, a little bit higher, maybe between 18 and 19K. In such case, that could happen. So I would be extremely careful. That's what I would trade. But of course, we know they can go down, bird trap, and then up 32, go down, make this kind of stuff, and that's it. That's a dick with two balls indicating you fuck off. So, also possible. I would be very careful if you are going to trade. I guess I wouldn't trade spot, to be honest. Only if we go down very hard, then try to get the local bottom, because then you can do a nice gain relatively without any kind of risk. Otherwise, if you are going to trade futures, I personally, if I would trade, I would use leverage less than 10 and I will hedge. Means if I have $100, I would start to use $25 now for a short and $10 for a long. In case we go more up, I will close my long and add all these funds, plus add more of my money to the short. That's what I will do. That's what I did all the time and did nice money, trying to get a swing, because every time before we nuked, we went up first. So, I mean, we did it already, but it's possible that we go up to 26 and even a little bit higher to trigger all these sell orders and then straight to go down. So I would try to swing, to trade the swing first up. If I see we are going to break, for example, right now 24K, maybe I would start to close my hedge long and add a little bit more to my short. But only then if I have in a trend line a break and a clean retest. What does that mean? Well, just to show you, for example, let us say that's our trend line here and the price is going down, goes a little bit up, clear retest, fade here, clear retest, fade here, and that's where I would add more to my short, because then more down will bounce here and so on and so forth. Try to minimize your risk as much as you can. I wouldn't trade something big because I think they will hunt everything that has high leverage, and that could explain why the leverage ratio declined a lot. Be careful, trade carefully. Big love. See you tomorrow. And if we have some volatility today, enjoy the ride. Bye bye. Your Inspo.